Hello, I'm Dominic Sommer. Today I'm here to discuss the investigation of hospital service robots, which are part of the Smart Forest 5G Clinics project. I'm working as a research associate at the Deggendorf Institute of Technology on this project. I am focusing on enhancing patient and visitor experience at hospitals. Integrating service robots, especially in hospital entrance areas, represents an opportunity to the current challenges in healthcare environments. In current healthcare environments, especially efficiency and patient satisfaction are paramount. Let's explore how service robots can revolutionize hospital receptions, offering a glimpse into the future of healthcare services. This is the reason why we have this poster presentation. This poster presentation is about a study in the hospital entrance hall where we employed service robots. First, something about the motivation. Hospital reception are a vital area as they are the first contact point for people seeking healthcare. Hospital receptions saturate the information needs of different groups like patient, visitors, and other stakeholders. Patient and visitors, they are perceiving the hospital maybe the first time in this area, and so the hospital receptions are an important point to assess the quality of a hospital. It's important to have a look at the hospital entrance areas, the hospital receptions, if you want to assess quality in the hospital. Nevertheless, staff in hospital reception is costly and is dealing with shortages. It means that there are some limitations to the service in these areas. Robots can be a solution for the staff shortage, for limited resources in these areas, and especially robots are getting more and more advanced, more and more cheaper, and yeah, actually more and more common. It makes sense to have a look at this topic from a scientific perspective. Therefore, our research aims to assess the effectiveness of hospital service robots in revealing information needs at the reception. We wanted to evaluate how the user interaction with the robot in this hospital reception area is, how is the impact of the service robot on the hospital operation, could the robot relieve the staff, and what was the overall user satisfaction with the system we employed. What we employed, that's an important question. Our study robot consisted of a humanoid and a non-humanoid robot. First, we have the humanoid robot. This is called the Pepper robot. The Pepper, you see it in the picture on the right side of the slide, is a very childish, nice robot. It can it can use gestures, and it has a touch display to show, to interact. It can recognize speech. It can recognize people. So yeah, and this robot was used to answer frequently asked questions in the hospital reception area, like asking for answering opening hours, building orientation, and stuff like that. And yeah, the Pepper could summon an robot, non-humanoid robot, the Temi robot, which was capable of autonomous driving. And this robot could provide guidance for patients, for other stakeholders to point of interest in the building. In the study design to evaluate all this intervention, we used a mixed methods approach. We combined participatory observation and the log data analysis. For the observation, we went during the opening hours in the hospital and observed the usage of the robot and the queries to the hospital reception staff. So, what are the results out of this study? Around nearly 90% of all interactions were handled by the hospital reception staff. The majority of inquiries were patients speaking German and being over 30 years old. They asked mostly for orientation and wayfinding or appointment registration, like you see on the right side in figure 1. Most requested locations, if you look deeper at orientation and wayfinding, were patient rooms, emergency rooms, nursing ward, and medical on-call service locations. And we also had a look at the day, at the schedule, and we found out that there is a light surge between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. In the interactions. But it also showed that most of the interactions, like nearly 90% of the interactions, were made within around 2 minutes. Some queries took longer, like administration queries to fill out some forms and stuff like that, but also other queries like you see in the last bullet point. So what are now the inquiries to the service robot? From all interactions, around 10% were handled by service robots. They are like very similar to the other inquiries that were made by hospital reception staff. They mostly concern orientation, visiting times, and asking for opening times. Regarding orientation, the service robots were asked for patient rooms, toilet location, medical on-call service location, the kiosks, and radiology. In around 9% of all cases, the service robot guided people physically. It means that the pepper summoned Temi and Temi provided them to the location in person physically. Regarding visiting and opening hours, nursing wards and on-call service were asked the most. The service robot is mainly used, as you can see in figure 1, between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. It means in the afternoon hours. As you can also see on the scatter on the right side, that all over the day the service robot was in usage. And yeah, it's 10% that were handled by the service robots. Most inquiries were handled by the human staff, but it's a noticeable share. That leads us to the questions: how is the reduction of hospital reception workload by this robot? As we see, this 10% that were handled by the service robot, we also can calculate the hours that were saved through the service robot or handled by the service robot during our 1-week study period. This can be calculated to 1 year, and it sums up. And this is just a study where we don't have perfect conditions for using the service robot. What's an interesting finding of this observation is that under 1% of all cases, there was help needed by human staff after service robot usage, which is meaning that the system, also it was a study system, was very satisfying for the people and answered the questions they wanted. As already mentioned, the implications of the study extend beyond immediate operational improvements. Our results showed that wayfinding and orientation questions are common and time-consuming for the hospital reception staff. The results also showed that the service robot could facilitate the information needs in the hospital reception area. The usage of the service robot makes sense. The hours saved daily for hospital reception staff sum up to more than 1 workday per month if you calculate it up. And this was just a study. we expect that the robot is even more in usage after some sensitization period. In the conclusion, we would recommend, as results out of this study, to have a deeper look on service robot usage in hospital entrance halls. We also advocate for analyzing the human-computer interaction in these areas. And we also advocate for providing deeper analysis of the usage and economic benefits of this kind of robots in the hospital reception area. Furthermore, it would be also interesting to use other systems like touch terminals in these areas. Finally, a huge thank you for your attention. You can find more information under the QR code, and you can contact me for questions. And thanks also to the participants in this study.